Yeah, very good evening, Tejasvi sir and Annamalai sir. So my question is open for both of you. It's like, for the women in politics, what are you both going to do for that, or what are you going to do in the future and now?
It's a fact that the women of India are voting for Narendra Modi ji in large numbers. Over the last 2-3 years, if we see, women are shifting towards Narendra Modi ji. From there, I'll answer your question, ma'am. The reason is two reasons main. One is, politics was always an insecure field for women, frankly speaking. Especially if you come to Tamil Nadu and Dravidian politics, you see, they never felt safe. Only after Jayalalitha became very powerful, women started congregating towards the ADMK. Now Jayalalitha is no more. The reason, if you ask me, why is this happening? Politics being masculine, it being powerful, it being a money-oriented business, like what he exactly portrayed. Any woman who was shining in politics either should have had a great family background or some powerful guy backing him. That's how it was. Now what has happened? The way India is progressing now, maybe from 1990, accelerated after Modi ji is in power 2 times now. One, women are coming out in large numbers, especially to BJP. Now, we just finished our Vel Yatra in Tamil Nadu. We are very surprised, actually, the president and me and a couple of people are traveling with him throughout the state. Half the crowd is women. Among the half the crowd, women crowd, we felt close to 40% of women crowd are not connected to the party. They're not party workers. First time they're coming and seeing what is a Vel Yatra, what is BJP doing. When we spoke to a couple of people, they said, look, there is always a pent-up emotion inside to get into politics. But till now, I never felt safe coming out. For the first time, I'm coming out to see what BJP is doing in Vel Yatra. This is a common occurrence across Tamil Nadu. Now the main thing for people like Tejasvi Surya ji and other people who occupy high post in BJP is to make sure, which you already said, is to bring positions of power where women can sit, which BJP is of course doing it. If you see this as a party, for example, the national president of BJP Women's Wing is a lady from our state. If I can take Vanathi Srinivasan as an example and answer, she was just like most of the women in Insecure, came through AVBP, contested elections. But party always have got a knack of finding good women. They'll always make them sit in good post. One, you have to trust the party. The second point I'm trying to convey is, yes, women are coming out in large numbers. They trust BJP. It's an open process. Nobody will scuttle you. Nobody will there's no demigod above you. And you do not please anybody like being in a movie industry. Now, the second thing, you got to trust the party to take care of you. Just like women, they are trusting the party with their votes. Now, this is the time you got to trust the party. You need to stick for a little bit more longer time. You need not wait for 1 year I've come, nothing I'm getting, can I leave the party now? Just be patient for some more time. Big roles are opening up. In fact, if you look at CCS itself, Nirmala Sitharaman madam is a classic example. From Tamil Nadu, from Andhra, MP, Rajya Sabha MP from Karnataka. So now people have to be a little bit patient. Party will reward you. Roles are opening up. Democracy itself is getting more matured. And last but not the least, Narendra Modi ji is emerging as the single largest PAN leader across India, where women for the first time are reposing their trust on a national leader. It hasn't happened before anywhere, from Bihar to Telangana to Tamil Nadu. Thank you.
Tejasvi, your views on this topic?
Very quickly, because you summarized everything so effectively. I think there has to be an active interest taken at every levels. In fact, after I became the national president of the Yuva Morcha, I reminded all Yuva Morcha cadre across the country that this party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, among its founding members had Vijay Raje Scindia as its founding member. And she was such a feisty, strong woman that when time came for the party, when party couldn't muster funds and resources, she pledged her personal wealth, her personal jewelry, raised resources for the party and contributed to the building of the Bharatiya Janata Party. That's the kind of heritage that the BJP has in terms of women leaders. So I think three things primarily has to be done. One, active interest needs to be taken, especially in the youth wing, to bring more and more women into the party's forum. So wherever it is the national office bearers, whether it is the mandal office bearers, at every level, more young women have to be given opportunities to come. Two, whether it is economics, politics, social, the like the Constitution of India says, we must strive towards creating equality of opportunities. So opportunity needs to be created to people. So I think that's the second thing that we must focus on. And the third thing is, with more financial independence that is coming in the way of, that women are getting these days. They're getting into new jobs, aspirational jobs. It is only a matter of time that women will take leadership positions and emerge as strong leaders, both inside and outside of the party. And it's a great sign of the modern and changing times that even in Bihar elections, which Annamalai ji very rightly mentioned, the polling percentage of women is 10% more than the polling percentage of men in the country. And if you look at how women vote, women are far more sensitive voters, far more responsible voters, and far more long-term thinking voters than men folk, which is why the Prime Minister was rewarded for his works. And let me also tell you, my visits in Bengal, I am seeing a large number of women coming out on the streets. When women come out on the streets and start supporting a political party or stand against a particular Andolan, then you can take it from me that no force on earth can stop the change from happening. Even in West Bengal, which is the land of the Shakti, the women folk of West Bengal are actually leading the fight for the BJP. And in 2021 April, when the new elections will happen, you can take it from me, the percentage of women polling in West Bengal will also be higher than men, and that is going to bring in a Narendra Modi BJP-led government in West Bengal. So we must make an effort to actively promote young women leadership.
Thank you, both of you. It's very interesting that people in power, like yourselves, are actively engaging and actively working towards bringing more women into the system. I'm sure this is going to lead to a very solid base for women to get into the politics in the near future. We have one more question from the audience here to Annamalai ji.
Hi sir, myself Santosh. Congrats both of you for leading the party in such a great things. What was the tipping point for you to join politics?
Tough question. Santosh ji, thank you for that question. A lot of people keep asking me. Maybe it is an opportunity for me to clarify once for all. There was never a single tipping point, frankly speaking, never a single tipping point. I wanted to be a businessman. I went to IIM Lucknow for my MBA. So something I saw in Lucknow pushed me towards civil services. We're part of many projects, especially in the Purvanchal side, Bihar and UP border, where a lot of kids were dying before they became 1 month old as well. Malnutrition, a lot of things. We investigated, we did some radio jingles for them. Slowly, it pushed me towards civil service career. Civil service, if you do it with sensitivity, and empathy, the job that you sit, especially as a cop, your mind opens up to a lot of things. People suffering, the way people express their life to you, the way people open up to you. So instead of a single tipping moment that happened, I can recall about maybe about 10-15 instances right now over the last 4-5 years that slowly pushed me, slowly accelerated the process to get into politics. I still vividly remember the case in Udupi where a 10th standard child was raped and killed near Baindur. So subsequent investigation, we caught the accused, that's fine. But why did it happen? Can we do something about the society per se? It only happened because the child has to walk to a school and come back about 4 kilometers up and down. And now we can't blame the government because the government with its limited resources can only mobilize that much. So is there a better way other than policing to go and solve it? Or every time you see a road traffic accident, especially when the kids of their age and my age, when they die, we can't answer to their parents. We can say that we have put that barricades, we have put whatever it is, but still can we put effective policy measures in place to prevent people from dying? Suicides, taking care of old age people. Do we have enough social security laws in place? You minus the last 6 years, you just take out from 2014 onwards. Before 2014, if you see, India as a country was having the least amount of social security net for its people. Absolutely zero. By chance you are born into a poor family, you get sick, nobody can take care of you. What can a police do or an IAS officer do? Thanks to the 5 lakh insurance system that we have now, to the Honorable Prime Minister Ji, even a poor guy need not fear any disease because 5 lakh is there. Thanks to Jan Dhan accounts, the money is coming. So these are all policy measures where people in positions in power, elected representatives can get it done. So my book is coming out in about 2 weeks from now. I've written a book. all these things I've mentioned. So rather than the tipping point, I would say it's more about 10 instances. Then it accelerated. My Kailash trip in 2018, where I had spent about 57 days up in the Himalayas and in Tibet. So that crystallized my thought process. It said, okay, can I go for a slightly higher calling? Can I go more grassroots? And also in bureaucracy, with all due respect to my batchmates and other people, it's a great field to be in service. But I felt the more higher up you go, if you're not very open to life, you start getting disconnected from people at the grassroots. So you go sit in big AC offices, you keep moving up. So I didn't want that to happen to me consciously. I know it's a very risky decision, it's a very bold decision, whichever way you look at it. I don't put risky word to that. I see it as life's calling. So where life takes you, you put your heart to it. So you'll be of help to some other person in your life. That's the way I see it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for very candidly opening up about your journey into politics. And also one very important point that you mentioned about bureaucracy, as people move up, their connect with the ground keeps going on. I think that's a complete debate and a discussion in itself that we'll have to start shortly. Taking the conversation to a lighter side from here, you were known as the Singham, the angry cop of Karnataka. You were carrying that anger when you were a cop. Now that you have come into politics, do you still carry the same anger? And also, I'd just like to mention there's a very big complaint from a lot of your fans that you never smile ever. So, so your take on that?
I'm sure our Tejasvi ji will agree with me. There is a leadership called situational leadership. So many a times you sit in a role, you sit in a position, and then you got to make sure that dharma is upheld in that position. So cop is always about a straight white and a straight black. You look at what is right, what is wrong, you implement it. There's no question of gray there. And I don't believe in the modern policeman saying there is a gray area. No. Constitution is very clear, especially people of executive role. You don't have any business to operate in gray area, white or black. So you do it. Now, as a politician, it's entirely different, because what happens is it's like 10 fingers in life. You see 10 different people in same day. But everybody is right from their own perspective. People have put their heart and soul to the party 30, 35 years, and people got every right to come and get heard. Maybe the arguments look stupid to us, but not to them, because they've got every right to come and present their argument. So politics, one thing I felt in the last 3 months, it requires enormous amount of patience. Second, it requires enormous amount of sensitivity. And third, it requires an enormous amount of taking failures, taking setback, and taking negative criticism. I know, especially the MP. I've been seeing him from his campaigning, and 2019, I've seen him from his campaigning to winning an MP and growing. So if you ask me what made Mr. Tejasvi Surya, I would say negative criticisms made him. So the kind of thing people threw at him in the first 2 months, 3 months of his political career, very young, how can somebody at 27 be MP, and how can a party trust a person like him in South Bangalore, the general comments that was made online or offline as well. But I think he grew from strength to strength. That very few people have that thing. So these 3 qualities we got to have. You overwork, you keep working hard, you convert all those adversity to a positivity. So these are very tough lessons. It is not that you speak in the mic, you go and get it. The reason I'm being slightly more open today is, I don't want people who see this thing to get a false sense of perception. The guy who's sitting here has risen through his hard work. We all know 27 he became MP, but people don't know what he put in 7 years before that, what he put in 8 years before that. We have seen photographs of him going and sitting in road doing strikes when at the age of 22, 23, nobody would dare do it. Now you see Bengal, what is he doing? Just going there, it's very tough, absolutely tough. As a cop, I see when a person having a Z plus security going, when there's no police escort car in the front, when they planned the route so badly that you allow the Trinamool Congress cadres to enter into this lane and people surround our party president's car. So they are in the harm's way. Everybody is in the harm's way in Bengal. Any leader who's going, tear gas shells get thrown like a tomato. People just throw it like that. It's like a war zone. So it needs that kind of pedigree. So people have it. I think politics will make sure they go to the place where they're destined to go. That's how I look at it. Yeah, thank you.